Hey, it's Janelle Waz and welcome back to another episode of Treknalysis. Every show has those episodes. Those episodes that no matter how many times you watch them, they're simply not good episodes. Star Trek is certainly no stranger to this. Even going back to the original series, there were those episodes that everyone seemed to hate. And The Next Generation definitely has those episodes. Look, I love Next Gen. When it's good, it's phenomenal. Some of the best content in Star Trek. But when it's bad, oh boy. Among Next Gen stinkers are episodes like Sub Rosa and Masks. And let's not even bring up Code of Honor. But the one episode that most people seem to hate, the one that seems to top almost every worst Next Gen episode list, is the Season 2 finale, Shades of Grey. But the last time I went through Season 2 of Next Gen, I had to ask myself, is Shades of Grey really that bad? I mean, there are episodes that I dread watching when they come up in the lineup, episodes that I would call even more unwatchable than Shades of Grey. Well, I sat down to rewatch Shades of Grey this week for this video with two goals in mind, determining whether this episode is truly as bad as people say it is, and what is it about the episode that people seem to hate? Get your Earl Grey ready and fasten your Starfleet seatbelts. This might be a bumpy ride.
I can't even figure out what's keeping it alive.
The episode starts with Riker calling Geordi over as he's sitting down. Apparently something just jabbed his leg during a survey of a new planet. Right away, there's already a couple of mistakes made in the beginning of the episode. One, we have no idea why Geordi and Riker are on this planet and seemingly alone. And two, we didn't even see the attack. Not only are we losing context for why they're even on the planet in the first place, but we don't even get the thrill of seeing the attack. From the start, the episode is, at best, watching Riker suffer from a leg wound. Riker's all, it's nothing, I'm fine, it's just a scratch. But Geordi, clearly not the senior officer in this situation, tells Riker he needs to go back to the ship. But there's a problem. The transporter's all, I'm not beaming that up. So Dr. Pulaski, in her last appearance in the show, is sent to the planet. Oof, what an episode to go out on. For all of you who haven't been paying attention in Season 2, one thing we learned about Dr. Pulaski is that she doesn't like the transporter. So naturally, Chief O'Brien decides to have a little fun with her.
I hope these are the right coordinates. Just kidding, Doctor.
I swear, after this assignment, I am so getting off this ship. O'Brien, however, has the right coordinates, and Pulaski beams down without a hitch where Riker and Geordi are. Keep this detail in mind, it'll be important later. And you know what? Not a whole lot happens on the planet. Riker tells Pulaski what happened, again telling us rather than showing us. Geordi does a fine Riker stance, and Pulaski gives the okay to beam Riker back to the ship, where Picard summarizes the entire episode in one sentence.
Put your foot where it didn't belong, huh?
It turns out that some microbes invaded Riker's body and is attacking his nervous system. If it reaches his brain, he could die. Now, if you're thinking that this episode sounds kinda boring so far, well, you'd be correct. I know we're only about 5.5 minutes into the episode, but think about it. This is the part of the episode that's supposed to get viewers interested, the attention grabber, so to speak. It's those crucial 5 minutes that's supposed to convince the viewer to keep watching for the rest of the hour. And what did we see exactly? Riker sitting on a rock complaining about his leg.
My leg's still asleep.
As are the rest of us. Since this turned into something more serious than a mere scratch, Picard orders Geordi and Data to go back to the planet and collect samples of the plant in question. Which would be kinda difficult because I'm not sure that even Riker knows what plant hit him. And of course, Data is the only one to point out that Geordi shouldn't go down to the planet. And Geordi's all, but I know where it happened. No, Geordi, your argument is very weak, and I mean very weak. Let's consider this. 1, Geordi didn't even see the attack. He couldn't point out the plant that attacked Riker. All he saw was Riker sitting on a rock complaining about his leg. 2, Pulaski was beamed down to the site where Riker was when it happened, so they all know where to look. Again, Geordi doesn't have to go and show Data where it is. And 3, Data is correct in pointing out that Geordi is vulnerable. He's a human male like Riker. There is literally nothing stopping the plant from also attacking Geordi and infecting him with microbes. And don't give me that...
How do we know this bug doesn't like androids more than it likes humans?
Like, when has that ever happened, Geordi? When? But Geordi goes along with Data anyways, despite the risk to Geordi, and they spy a suspicious-looking vine.
Well, when life gives you lemons.
Data, since he's an android, is able to go up to it and handle it without the vine reacting. Geordi, on the other hand, gets a bright idea. Handling it with his bare hands.
Well, I'm counting on those great android reflexes of yours.
And if Data wasn't there, Geordi would be in sickbay right now next to Riker. This also begs the question why the vine didn't try to attack Pulaski and Geordi earlier when they were both on the planet, but that's the least of our problems now. They grab a sample of the vine and are beamed back to the ship.
Here's your sample, Captain.
You didn't secure it with a container or something? Do you want to spread microbes around the ship? I mean, you're just holding it with a tweezer! While Geordi's busy being a contagion on the ship, Pulaski is hard at work trying to find a cure. So far, she can't cure Riker without killing the microbes and Riker along with them. Meanwhile, Riker's doing stuff.
I hope they don't find out that I'm faking it.
Picard enters and he and Riker have a discussion about the dangers of exploring the unknown. And Riker has a nice line that if there's one saving grace in this episode, it's this.
One of the things I've learned on these voyages and on this ship and from you is that most life forms act out of an instinct for survival, not out of malice.
Say what you want about this episode, I mean I certainly have, but this perfectly describes the mindset Trek has towards alien life forms, at least the non-humanoid variety. Rarely are unknown life forms truly malicious. They're mostly just trying to survive and the Enterprise or its crew is getting in the way. Even in an episode widely panned by fans, there's a nugget of gold amid all the dirt. Pulaski then kicks Picard out for the rest of the episode until the very end.
What can I do?
You can get out of my hair.
And Troi visits Riker. She gives him some encouraging words, and then he takes a turn for the worse. Troi, what the hell did you do to him? Pulaski announces that the infection will spread to Riker's brain in an hour. So she decides to stick some needles into his brain. It's at this point in the episode that Riker begins to dream. And we as the audience are subjected to, you guessed it, a clip show. Now, I'm not against the idea of a clip show. Heck, some shows pull it off pretty well. However, Shades of Grey ends up being a clip show of what many fans consider to be Next Gen's worst seasons. Season 1 was especially a stinker, and it takes up the bulk of the clips with some Season 2 clips sprinkled in. And what clips are we treated to in Riker's subconscious? Riker shouting anybody! Riker walking into the holodeck, kickstarting the only case of socially acceptable holo-addiction. Teaching Wesley how to pick up chicks. Hitting on Guinan.
Dreams can be dangerous.
Not these dreams. I dream of a galaxy where your eyes are the stars, and the universe worships the night.
And others. Troi can still sense Riker's emotions as he's dreaming, saying that he's relaxed and feeling warmth and friendship. So Pulaski gets the idea to tamper with his brain to make him feel other things. It's kinda hitting me how much of a mad scientist Pulaski is in this episode. But now Riker's dreams take a sexy turn.
With sexy results.
So now we revisit Riker, making goo-goo eyes at Minuet the hologram.
What's a knockout like you doing in a computer-generated gin joint like this?
Dancing with Minuet, stepping into the role of diplomat on Angel 1, and washing a woman's feet.
Oh, is there a special technique to this foot washing?
You generally start at the top and work your way down.
Riker's having a pretty good time, but not too great of a time because his sexy, sexy thoughts are actually killing him.
Then all we've done is made things worse.
Dreams can be dangerous.
Not these dreams.
motives.
But this is just the breakthrough Pulaski needs. That's right, ultimately Riker's sexy dreams saved the day and his life. Pulaski deduces that she can influence the speed of the microbe spread by influencing Riker's emotional state. Happy thoughts make them spread faster, so sad thoughts must slow them down or repel them. So she sends Riker on a trip that will probably land him in therapy one day.
What's Lieutenant Yah's condition?
She's dead. I'm sorry.
But unfortunately, that's not doing quite enough.
We need to isolate memories that generate stronger negative emotions.
So Pulaski subjects Riker and the audience to Riker acting like a big man on a Klingon ship, complete with subtitles, and getting owned by an old man.
Vitamins. They do wonders for the body.
Well, can't you intensify that emotion?
Dang, girl, he's already gonna need therapy after this. What more do you want him to be subjected to? A glowy man getting fresh with Riker. Season 1 Ferengis. And Riker getting attacked by Flex Seal.
Data something got me!
Well, that's a lot of damage!
And again, among others. It's also a little strange that the only memories Riker is dreaming about just happen to be memories that happened on the Enterprise. Not growing up, or dating Deanna, or his shenanigans at the Academy. Nope, only on the Enterprise. But after one final Pulaski-induced bad dream, Riker's breathing easy again. And he's awake! Look, his eyes are clearly open! Oh wait, they're closed now.
I hope they don't find out that I'm faking it.
But the infection has been eradicated, allowing Dr. Pulaski to leave the show on a high note. Well, maybe not too high of a note with this episode. Riker wakes up for real this time.
You wouldn't believe the dreams I was having.
Oh, yes, we would.
Hold on there. I can buy that Troy can sense Riker's emotional state while he's dreaming, but what she said implies that she knew exactly what he was dreaming about. I know it's implied that her and Riker have some kind of telepathic link and encounter at Farpoint, but it's never really expanded upon beyond that episode. If she were a full telepath, maybe she would know what he was dreaming about, but as an empath who can only sense emotions, I don't buy it.
I hope they don't find out that I'm faking it.
Riker ends the episode on a little joke, and everyone has a smile, and Season 2 comes to a close.
I'm Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the USS Enterprise.
I'm delighted that you're feeling better, Captain. The Admiral and I were worried about you.
I do not believe you have the authority to promote me to the rank of Admiral.
So, that was Shades of Grey. And yeah, it's not a very good episode, but I don't think I would call it the worst Next Gen episode either. It has its leaps in logic, sure, but so do a lot of other Star Trek episodes. If anything, the illogical parts just give me a chance to poke fun at it. I think ultimately the two main things that hold this episode back are the fact that the main plot is kinda boring, and the clip show. It's not like a medical drama can't work in Star Trek, we've seen it work in later episodes. But the problem is that the event that would have made this medical drama exciting happened off screen. The Vine attacking Riker. Would it have made the premise any less absurd? Maybe, maybe not. But at least we would have felt like we were watching something, not just Riker sitting on a rock or Riker lying in sickbay. And then of course there's the clip show. I do like Season 2 of Next Gen, so including Season 2 in a clip show doesn't really bother me. But Season 1, in my opinion, and probably everyone else's opinion, is the worst season of Next Gen. Maybe it would have made more sense to do a clip show later in the show so it could feature clips from better seasons, but I don't know. Most of this episode is a hodgepodge of Season 1 clips that barely hold together and also highlight some terrible episodes from that season. I like quiet episodes of Star Trek, but usually those episodes provide insight into the character it's focusing on or have something to say about human nature. There's a larger message going on alongside a quiet plot. This episode is just a boring quiet plot alongside a Riker fever dream. I get the budget was kind of small for this episode, but oof, if you want to make something good, you gotta spend a little money.
I hope they don't find out that I'm faking it.
But what do you think? Do you think Shades of Grey is as bad an episode as people say it is? Or is it just a dull hour of television? Do you agree with my points about why this episode is hated? Or do you have another idea? And what are some of your least favorite episodes of Star Trek The Next Generation? Please, leave a comment below and discuss. As always, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Treknalysis. If you like what you see, why not give my video a like and subscribe to my channel? Tell your friends! Until next time...
Put your foot where it didn't belong, huh?